I got this email from Brian, and he's explaining to me what he did to this radio, replacing the capacitors and resistors, but it's still not working. So I asked him to send me the voltage readings, which he did, and we'll get back to this a little bit later. I took a look at the voltage readings and studied them for a while and asked him to check the 200 ohm resistor or the ground or then possibly the switch. And this is the information that I sent him, the wiring diagram, and I like writing down the voltages on the diagram. It helps in troubleshooting. And I thought that it could be the switch, but more than likely an open ground or that resistor is bad. So this is the letter that I got back from him after he checked out the circuit, and he had replaced the 200 ohm resistor with the wrong value. And heck, I've done that before. So the radio is now working, and this video is about how did I get there. This is my radio, same model, and here's the back. And here I've taken the back off, turned it around, and you can see that the old batteries that were left in it did some corrosion in there. And here you can see the chassis. This is a very nice little radio. Here's the wiring diagram of that radio. And this is the information Brian sent to me. And I'm going to highlight the plate voltages. And as we go through this, you'll notice that the plate voltages are very low. You know, they're supposed to be around 65 to 61, and they're just, 6.3 or 7 volts, something like that. Very low. So I like writing this information on the wiring diagram, and I've got what the voltage is supposed to be and what we actually have. And then I trace the path of each of these to see where they go, and they all end up at this switch. So I thought, well, it's possible, especially in these older ones, and you saw the corrosion, that that switch could be having a problem. So we keep that in mind. Then I went back to the information that Brian sent me, and then I noticed this. Holy cow. It's supposed to be a minus 1.5, and it's a minus 43.6. So I went back to the diagram and put that on there. And let's take a look at pin 3 and see where it goes. It goes through R7, goes down and connects directly to the negative side of the battery, and then through R8 to ground. Then I looked up what the values are of the two resistors, and R7 is 2.2 megs, and R8 is 200 ohms. So looking at that information, to get that much negative voltage on that pin, that means that the ground here must be open, or this resistor, there's something wrong with that resistor. So that's how I got to the information that I sent to Brian. Because with this ground open, or the resistor open, That's the only way that you could have that much negative voltage on that pin. And now looking at the whole thing, that now explains why all the voltages are the way they are. The positive is low and the negative is very high on that pin 3. Here's another scenario that can happen. All the plate voltages are good except one. And if you trace that out, I would suspect that this coil is open. And of course you turn off power and ohm it out to make sure. This radio is now working, and Brian sent me a link to the short video that he made, and you can find this link in the show more of this video. I have a little story about mistakes. I was working in a crossbar office, really new to the job, didn't know much about it except how to run the numbers and test the numbers. Well, one day this executive from the phone company comes out. I'm not quite sure why he was there, but anyway, I was telling him that I was new to the job and I was doing my job, running the numbers and testing them. And while we were talking, I set up this one test and hit the button and it failed. And I took a look and, I had set one of the switches wrong. Tested it again and it worked just fine. And then this executive says that the phone company had hired him because he had never made a mistake. And without hesitation, I blurted out, "Are you in the Guinness Book of Records?" It's a good thing I can fix stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching.